Hello everyone, I've got yet another piece of home exercise equipment to unbox and assemble today. This is the new Image Maxi-Glider 360. I've had this a while. It's been stuck in my spare room, or stock room as we call it now, for quite some time, and I thought, well, I better get it open. I'm getting fatter and fatter and I'm not feeling very healthy and fit. So it's not going to help being left in the box. I mean, at least when it's unboxed and assembled, I can hang my clothes on it or something, use it as a clothes horse, whatever. But hopefully this could be the piece of equipment that I enjoy using and actually gets me a little bit fitter. There's a lot to put together by the looks of it. I'm not sure, but it's all packed up quite well. So I'm just going to take everything out of the box. We'll lay all the pieces out in front and we'll assemble this bad boy. Well, here it is out of the box, and it's pretty daunting, even for someone who assembles a lot of flat pack furniture. So anyway, we'll go through it step by step. We do have the assembly instructions as well as a workout guide that you can stick up on your wall if you want to. So we'll go through it step by step together. If you've got one of these and don't want to follow the printed instructions, hopefully by following this video with me, we'll be able to assemble this Maxi-Glider 360. Here are some of the bolts and screws, and you get some Allen keys and a spanner. So without any further ado, let's start with stage one. The first thing we need to do is to stand up the main unit, or the A-frame, and open out the two legs so it will stand up on its own, but be careful, you'll still have to support it, because if you let go it will fall to the ground. The first thing we need to do is to screw this black knob into the hole here on the main frame. So we'll just locate it to make sure we don't cross thread anything. There we go. Just hand tighten that, like so. While still holding the main frame, we need to remove this pin lock that secures the footplate bracket. That's for one side. So just pull out, and as you can see, the footplate has gone down like so, and then the pin can be returned back into the hole here to store it away, and then you need to repeat that for the other side. It would be useful if you've got somebody else with you to hold on to the A-frame while doing this part. It is quite tricky on your own, it is possible. Just take your time. There you go, that's the other platform, and then we can pop the pin back in here for safekeeping. We're now going to attach the 2 feet, which will make the Maxi-Glider a lot more stable. So apart from the feet, you're going to need the spanner, the Allen key, and the 4 large nuts and bolts. The foot without the wheels attaches to the silver part of the A-frame, and you need to ensure, you'll see that there are square holes one side and round holes the other. So you put it with the round holes uppermost to correspond with the holes on the metal part of the A-frame. The silver part, we'll just have to, it's going to be rather tricky. As I said, if you've got someone to help you with this, it will help a great deal, because I'm having to hold this upright as I'm adjusting and trying to attach the nuts and bolts. The first thing we need to do is to insert these bolts in the holes underneath the foot. So I think for this it'll be easier if I lay the Maxi-Glider on its side. So with the round holes uppermost, just locate them roughly into the area where they need to go. Put one of the bolts through, and then through the hole at the top. You'll see the bolts have a square part on the end, so that corresponds with the square hole. So that's in place. And now take the nuts and washer and place the washer obviously first. It's curved slightly to match the curve on the actual bracket. So we're just going to tighten these by hand initially. Make sure it doesn't pop out like that. That should be okay. And then the other one. Again, make sure that the washer follows the curves of the bracket before you tighten up anything. There we are. And now we can use the spanner just to tighten up the nuts and bolts fully. Now we can attach the rear foot, which incorporates a couple of wheels to help maneuver the Maxi-Glider into position. Again, you need to have the square holes at the bottom, and the wheels should be facing towards the front. Right, just undo the washer and the nut. Get it in the hole. And then the other one. It is a bit fiddly this, but just take your time. There we are. That's securely in place. And again, pop the washers on, following the curve of the bracket. And then hand tighten the nut. And when you insert the nuts, you'll see that they are slightly differently shaped. You always want to screw them in with the flatter, wider side at the bottom. You see the top side there with a little bit of a white washer or something on it. That goes at the top, so you screw it onto the nut that way. Or the bolt, should I say. I'm always getting those confused. Nuts and bolts. That's a nut. Again, hand tighten. Careful not to cross thread. It's a bit awkward doing it like this. There we go, that's on. So now I'm going to return it to the upright position to do up these two nuts and bolts. To attach the foot pedals, you'll need these 4 screws. So first thing to do is make sure that the New Image logo is outermost. You'll see 2 holes here that should correspond with the holes on the foot pedal. So just need to line them up. Get the screw in again. Hand tighten both screws first. Just have to line the hole up again. If there's any resistance when you're hand tightening, take out the screw and try again, because you'll have a cross thread. So when you're convinced, when you're sure that you've screwed it in correctly, we need the Allen key. And just screw each of the screws. Don't over tighten, just screw them evenly. Just tighten them up now, like so, and then repeat for the other side. So again, with the New Image logo facing outwards, line up the holes in the foot pedal with the holes in the bracket. Again, hand tighten the screws. Before doing them up with the Allen key. There we go. Tighten them up evenly. That's it, nearly there. That's it. Don't over tighten. And it's always important, and it's a good idea, to keep all the tools for assembly ready to hand. Keep them with your instruction book, because from time to time you may need to tighten them up as you use the machine they can loosen up, but they're securely in place. For the next part of the assembly, you'll need these 4-leg width stoppers. Next, lift one of the legs to reveal 2 holes. Again, this would be helpful if you've got someone to hold the leg open for you. Just hand tighten the stoppers into each hole. One there. Be careful not to trap your fingers. And again, make sure you haven't got a cross thread before you start to tighten up. Might be better if I angle it a bit. These will move round. There we go. That's it. And again, on the other side, do the same thing. Locate the holes and hand tighten both of these black stoppers. Like so. To fit the tablet holder, you'll need the screwdriver and the 2 small screws. The tablet holder fits into the square here at the front of the Maxi-Glider. So insert it with this part facing you. Just pushes in. Might be a bit tight. You have to jiggle it about. Like so. And then tighten both screws securely. But remember not to over tighten. Just tighten them until you feel resistance. That should be enough. To fit the handle, you'll need these 2 screws and washers. The handle fits onto the bracket this way round. You'll notice these 2 connectors here, they need to be at the front. So again, we'll just pop the screws in, line up the holes, and of course the washers. Hand tighten, and then finish tightening using the Allen key. Next we need to fit the display panel. You get 2 AA batteries supplied and they fit into the battery compartment on the back. Make sure they go in the correct way. These will just be quite cheap batteries supplied, so they might not last very long. So once they're in position, we can pop the cover back on, like so. Before we slide the display into the bracket, we need to connect it up. So the 2 connectors here fit onto the connectors coming out of the handle, and this jack plug here connects to the jack here that comes out of the top of the Maxi-Glider. So make sure it's the correct way up, and we'll just fit them. There's only one way to fit the 2 wires. They won't let you put them in the incorrect way. It's a bit fiddly. It doesn't matter which wire goes into which connector, just make sure that's it, you get them in the correct way. That's 1. And there we go, that's 2. And then we can connect up this with the jack, like so. Just push it until it clicks in position. And then we can slide the monitor on the bracket. It's a little bit tight with the wires. I might have to stretch them a little to get this on. Push it down. There we go. Yeah, it's very tight. There's not a lot of leeway with the wires that come out of the handle. But there we go, that's all connected up. For the final part of assembly, you're going to need the 4 remaining screws and washers and the Allen key. You'll see that the handles are marked R and L, which corresponds to the stickers on the Maxi-Glider. We'll fit the right hand handle first, so just offer it up to the bracket. And again, you need to insert the screws and the washers. Just find the hole. It's a bit tricky. There we go. I'm sure you'll find this easier at home. I'm having a bit more trouble because I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. If I wasn't filming this, I think I would have had this assembled by now. Again, make sure that the washers, before you tighten them fully, make sure that they're in line with the bracket. might have to keep your thumb on it so it doesn't move. That's one. There we go. Don't over tighten, but they need to be firm. That's it. And now we can do the left hand side. Again, we need to line up the holes with the screws and hand tighten. That's it. I think that's going in. That's fine. Tighten them using the Allen key. Again, the washer, wrong way, the washer will move, so you just need to again make sure it stays in place so it hugs the curves of the bracket. That's it. That's one, that's almost done. Hold the other one. That's it. One final tighten, and I think that should be assembly completed. I'll show you this Maxi-Glider in use at a later date when I've got suitable clothing on. You can adjust the resistance of this machine, and of course I need to explain the control panel, etc. And there's also an app you can download and you can follow various workouts with your tablet placed on the tablet holder. But just for an initial go, I'm just going to try and mount the thing. Yeah. I've not got any shoes on, just socks, so obviously you really need to have the correct footwear. But yeah, right. That just gives me a rough idea of what it's going to be like. Not too bad. I had a Gazelle glider years ago. Do you remember those? The tiny little Gazelle glider. That certainly had more movement than this. This feels a bit more restricted. But it does have resistance, which my Gazelle glider didn't have. And I think with this one, yes, you can also spread your legs like this and do all sorts of things. But I will be looking at the how-to guide. I'll follow the online videos as well. I don't want to rupture myself doing anything wrong. But hopefully this video has helped you assemble your Maxi-Glider 360. And it's going to help you get a little bit fitter and lose that belly. That's what I want it for. And with any luck, if I get used to using this machine, put a bit of music on, move to the music, I think possibly this might help me out, help me get a little bit more fit and lose some of the love handles. So I hope you found this video not only interesting but useful in assembling your Maxi-Glider. Please stay tuned because I will be doing further videos of this machine in action. So until the next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.